Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today what I have for you is a sort of meal prep video. With the cost of steak getting as high as it is, I've decided to go back to eating ground beef. However, I wanted to get the leanest ground beef possible. So what I've been doing is buying eye of round roasts, cutting off the fat cap, and running it through my meat grinder. So what I've done to make it even cheaper is I bought from Costco the Cryovac. This is a beef round eye roast, USDA choice. Basically, it's the entire roast. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and open the packaging, dry off the outside with some paper towels, and then go over what we're going to need to get this done. I went ahead and took the round roast out of its packaging and dried off all the blood and whatnot. And what I've got is a big cutting board. I've got a big knife here to cut this into smaller pieces, and a smaller knife to take off more of the fat cap that's on this. You'll see there's still fat on both sides of this, and in order to make this the leanest possible, I'm going to be cutting off the entire fat cap and then cutting this into smaller pieces, removing any fat that's intermuscular that I see, but there should be very little. Eye of round is an extremely lean cut, probably one of the leanest you can get. This was 15.23 pounds, so like 15.25 pounds. I'm assuming we'll probably lose a little bit of weight, obviously, from cutting off the fat cap. I paid $2.59, I believe, per pound. So this came out to like $39 and some change. I'm hoping to end up with, 14 or 14 and a half pounds, would be great. And what the plan is to make these into 8-ounce burgers. So what I have over here is my KitchenAid, and what we're gonna be connecting to that is the KitchenAid metal grinder attachment. That's what I've been using to make my ground beef. Right now that's in the freezer so that I can get it nice and chilled. In a perfect world, you'd have the metal bowl chilled in the freezer and maybe have ice in the bowl with a smaller bowl on top. But my goal is to try to trim this piece of meat, and basically I'd like to get this whole process done, meat cut up and ground. I'm going to go twice through the grinder with the coarse plate. I'd like to get all that done in 15 to 20 minutes. And then I have a food scale. I'm going to portion this out into 8-ounce portions. I'm weighing everything out. I stuff them in the plastic bags, and I throw them in the chamber sealer that you see right here. Boom. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and... Ooh, sorry about that. Horrible filming, I know. Let me see if I can go ahead and adjust this so you guys can see a little bit of the trimming action. Okay, guys, so I'm going to take my smaller knife, and I'm just going to cut off basically all the fat cap that I see remaining. If you get a little bit of the meat, it's not the end of the world, but if you glide your knife along and you got a sharp knife, that's, I guess, probably one of the keys, is to have a nice sharp knife. You can kind of just get the fat cap to come right off like that. Okay, so we flip this over. There's a lot more fat on this side, so just find this place to start and just get to cutting. If you get the knife just right, you should be able to get right underneath that fat cap and get it to come off pretty easy. Like I said, you're going to lose some meat if you're really trying to aggressively remove the fat cap, but I don't care if I lose a little bit. I'd rather have the leanest possible meat I can. So if I lose a tiny bit, I just write it off. It's just part of the game. So you just keep going. You kind of start getting a feel for how thick the fat is, and just keep trimming away. We're a few minutes in here, about 80% done. Okay, so what we have here is just about all of the fat cut off. All that's left is a little bit of silver skin, which isn't really all that important because we're grinding it up, so it's not going to really add to the toughness of the burger. Also, since these are going to be really lean burgers, you're not going to have a lot of fat. You're going to want to cook these less than more, and that's another big benefit to the sous vide, is you can get away with cooking at a lower temperature, pasteurizing the meat, and keeping it really tender. If you have to cook this at higher heat because you like well done, being that there's hardly any fat left on this, it's not going to be a pleasurable burger experience if you're going that route. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just take the bigger knife. I'm going to cut this into smaller usable sizes. Okay. Depending on your meat grinder, kind of going to determine how you want to cut this. 1-inch cubes, I think, is usually a good standard. That's what I kind of do. Something that'll fit through your grinder. I think these are considered London broils also, although I think I'm cutting them, I think I might be cutting them right, so that you could actually make steak out of this if you wanted to. We're making ground beef though, because burgers are easier. Plus, I can cook them faster because the grinding of it more or less makes it more tender. And London broils, in order to make that tender, you'd have to do a really long cook. I'm not interested in that. I kind of like the speed of something that's like a burger, for instance. I could cook a burger in a couple hours, pasteurized, ready to roll. This, being a London broil, would probably take like 24 hours to be tender, or it would take quite a while, maybe 12 hours, I don't know. It would take a lot more time, and it's easier to portion it out, obviously, as burger meat. So we have this cut into pieces, slabs, and then what I'll do is just go ahead and further break this down. Some people like doing strips, or you can do cubes. I think cubes turn out a little better. So I go like 1-inch cubes approximately. So right now we're about 10 minutes in. This is taking a little longer than I expected, although this is a huge piece of meat, bigger than I'm used to grinding. Normally when I get a single eye of round, it's like 6 pounds. So this is significantly larger, taking more time. Okay, so here we have it. This is 15-ish pounds. I don't know. I probably I might even have cut off close to a pound. I'm not sure. I'll weigh it all out in the very end and let you know. This thing operates. Oh, one thing you want this to be is just finger tight. You don't want this to be super tight, loose-ish. So this has been in the freezer since yesterday. The point of doing that is so that the meat stays cold and doesn't get gummy. And so I have a bowl here to catch everything. So we're gonna put this on number 4. And then just start feeding the beast. Okay guys, so we've gone and ground up everything first time through, and right now I'm feeding it back through the grinder for the second time. Okay guys, so we have round 2 through the meat grinder. So I guess the basis of going twice is that you make sure that you get everything nice and tender, and like anything gristly will be ground up. One of the other nice things that I find about going twice through the grinder is that when you take this apart, all the meat that's inside you can use, even if it didn't make it all the way through the second time. It's already been ground once. So basically, as you start taking this apart, you'll find that there's meat on the auger that's inside of here, and the blade and everything else. So I pop all this off, and that becomes part of the burger. There's a chunk of fat. We'll give that to the dog. Sure, he likes it. So anyway, so this is the meat ground. I'm gonna go ahead and start weighing it out. What I have for that is basically a plate that I'm gonna set. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna set that on top of a food scale. I'm gonna make this into 8-ounce portions and weigh them out and put them on a cookie sheet. I'll go ahead and do that now, and then we'll find out what the 15 and a quarter pounds ends up being in the world of 8-ounce burgers. So we'll be able to see how much was wasted from the trimming that we did. However, trimming, super important. We're trying to get rid of as much fat as possible as I'm doing as lean a beef as I can create for the cheapest price. So at $2.59 a pound, I think I'm winning here. I don't think I could touch lean ground beef already made any cheaper, but we'll find out what we ended up with, and we'll calculate the cost per pound doing it at home. Okay guys, welcome back. So I have everything. This is how I do it. I do everything in like balls. So everything is portioned into these half pound balls. So those are 8 ounces a piece, and it came out to 13.5 pounds plus a 7.5 ounce burger. So just shy, literally just shy of 14 pounds. That brings the cost per pound up to $2.82 from, I believe, $2.59 a pound. So at $2.82 a pound for something that's probably 96% lean, I would say that's an awesome deal. What I do with these now is I don't season them because I'm just doing this for volume meal prepping. This will be like, even if I eat 2 pounds a day, this will be more than a week's worth of food for me. And I'm gonna put these in a bag, and I'll show you how I go ahead and vacuum seal them here in just a second. Okay, so basically I take my bag, I take my burger, I put it inside like a meatball, and then I take this over to the chamber sealer. All right, like that. We put this in here, and we go ahead and seal it. Okay, so as you see, we have a sealed burger. What I like to do is after I seal it in there, I like to give it a pat, get the burger kind of shaped like a bun-sized burger, although I don't use a bun, obviously. I don't season it until after I cook it. And what I'll do after I cook it is open it up. The day I'm going to eat it, I sear it in a hot skillet. And at that time when I sear it is when I'll add a little salt, and then I usually top this with some mustard and maybe even some no sugar added Heinz ketchup, and it turns out awesome. If I was going to make these for like guests or something like that, and appearance was more of a priority for me, like I showed you these rings, the pound and the half-pound burger, basically you just put the meat in there, you flatten it down, and then season it, and then season it how you want, put it in the bag, seal it with the ring, and then sous vide it just like that. And then when you take it out, you could sear it on the grill, sear it on a cast iron, and you'll have a perfectly round burger that looked like it came, you know, like you bought it that way. So anyway, for me, this works out perfect. And like I said, this has been the most cost-effective way for me with a rising cost of food. I've had to resort to doing this as a way to save money. I had been doing a lot of flank steak, but it's just almost doubled in price. And so this is the most cost-effective way for me to get lean beef at this point. And it's actually nice. It's really cheap. I mean, $2.82 a pound. Come on. So anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Battery's about to die. I'm going to try to get this posted this Sunday, so hopefully you'll be seeing this in a couple of days. And if you have any questions, let me know. KitchenAid mixer, highly recommend the metal meat grinder attachment. I bought all that stuff. I think the meat grinder attachment off Amazon. The KitchenAid was on sale at Costco. These rings, Amazon. Any other questions, guys? Just hit me up in the comments. I get back to everybody as best as possible. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Just a quick note. I always find these quick notes. This whole process took me about 30 minutes, start to finish. I probably could have done it a little faster even without having to try to film and try to figure out how I'm going to get everything to work out. But the whole process, maybe 30 to 40 minutes tops. It'll take me about 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes to seal these. And then once they're sealed, they're gonna go in the fridge for a little while and then into the sous vide machine tonight. So all of this will be cooked today. So anyway, guys, take care. Hey guys, just a quick addition to the video. I was editing it last night and I started thinking of things I would wish I had included. One of the major things is that I went to Costco to get another primal eye of round so that I could process it for next week, and come to find out they want to charge the same price as their eye of round roast, which is already processed. So it makes no sense to buy, for me anyway, to buy the full primal because this is already trimmed. All that I have is this fat cap here at the bottom. It'd take like 1 minute to cut off. So what I'll do is probably throw this in my freezer for about a half hour, 45 minutes, something like that. And then cut it up into, cut the fat cap off, cut it into cubes, grind it. The other thing is I ate, the video you're watching, I've already eaten most of that beef. And what I found out is that twice through the grinder is not necessary for something this lean. I think that's really primarily geared towards like chuck or brisket or something that has a lot of gristle and connective tissues. So you'd want to run it twice through the coarse grind. I find that the texture that I have experienced with one time through, the prior time that I guess I didn't film because I wanted to see how it worked out, was actually better. So the texture was better for me once through with this cut. So eye of round, once you trim this off, this has got to be, I don't know, 96.4 or 90, or better. Or even leaner. I mean, there's almost no fat on this. Look at this. There's almost no intermuscular fat. Okay, once you trim that fat cap off, there's nothing but beef. So anyway, guys, just wanted to add that to it. Basically, once through is adequate. Always look for the best deal. If I had bought the primal this week, I would have lost money because you would lose so much that's already been trimmed off for you. So, I'm in favor of saving money. I'm kind of frugal when it comes to stuff like this, and there's no benefit for me buying the primal if I can't buy it at a cheaper price to where once I cut the fat off, I'm still winning. It's all about getting the best bang for your dollar. So anyway, guys, sorry for the long video. Hopefully you learned something, or this has generated some ideas for you guys in your own journey. And if you like the video, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care.